Hi, how are you? Welcome back. Let's do the tarot. We've got a really busy week ahead of us in terms of decision making and lots of changes going on. So I thought I would use the Celtic tarot because it's quite easy to read. It's quite divinative, and as we're coming out of a bit of a nebulous time, moving into really strong decision making, I thought that would be nice to do because we've been in this musing time where we've been evaluating all of the options. Oh, very quick. Very bossy. All right. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's nice. Okay. Whew. For a while there, I have to tell you, I was just getting a little bit worried. Okay. So, this is the energy that we've been in. I'll just show it to you on the bottom of the pack. Just making sure you can all see. And not surprisingly, it's the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is the illusion of us being stuck, us feeling like we're being stuck and unable to make a decision and unable to free ourselves. And I've certainly been feeling that way, particularly to do with my physical aspects of my life, about business, work, home, moving, all of those things, and I know many other people have been as well. So that's quite interesting. That's the environment that we're currently in, and that's quite true because we're moving into next week being clarity of decisions. What's interesting is the first card out of the pack is upside down, the Prince of Pentacles. This way up, if we have a look at it, this is the Prince. Have a think about it, the Knight. So this is normally the Knights are action and change and bringing things forward. But what's interesting about that is it's upside down. So that means that we've been stuck and we haven't been able to move forward. And that's the time of this now. And I think that sits very nicely with the Eight of Swords. So we've been feeling really, really lost. Sorry, I get distracted sometimes by the noises outside. And I again apologize for my neighbour's dogs. Okay, so there we go. So that's the general environment, and the first four cards I think are really interesting because that describes our current situation of where we are. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is about our physical self, how we make money, how we live, and that's upside down. So that means that we've been being stuck. That's been followed by the Five of Cauldrons, which is talking about our values, and you can see there's three sitting by the fire and there's two up, off, away from the heat. So that sometimes some of us perhaps have been feeling a little bit isolated in terms of not being able to express quite fully what we're feeling and not being able to communicate that with others, or alternatively finding others are not so interested in having that discussion. We've all been really focused on fulfillment and what makes us feel valued. That's Chiron, of course, and Venus. But what's interesting about this is often us looking at the lack of it. And of course, once you start having a think about what you value, what you don't value, it automatically starts bringing you into reflecting on your life, evaluating your life, and seeing if the things you value are in your life. Thankfully, what follows on from that is a much nicer collection. So we end up with the Page or the Princess of Cups, and of course this is a new fresh energy, and it's cauldrons. I call it cups, but cauldrons are cups, and it's about new messages about how we feel about ourselves and what gives us values. And remember, whenever you see either air, which is movement of thought, and water, which is our values. So you can see we're coming out of this time of reflection. She's coming out of the water. She's walking forward, and she's got new messages about what gives us value. And you might just be able to hear my neighbour's little girl giving a bit of a squeal in the background. Okay. So this card is then followed on by the Four of Cauldrons. And this is where we are sitting back looking at what we've got. And something is being offered to us. But we're not necessarily seeing what's being offered. We're still looking at what we've got. And this is a card of saying there is opportunity. And the opportunity is there now. You're not seeing it, or we mightn't see it, but it's there and it's coming, and you will start to see it. And I think that sits very nicely with what the astrology was saying. So there we are moving away from feeling stuck out in the cold, not able to fully articulate what we want or be able to get it, into a new beginning of things coming for us having some offer and getting messages about what works for us. So I think all of that is very, very nice. What it ends with is absolutely and utterly fantastic. It's the only way to put it. So we end with the Ace of Cups. So this is talking about new beginnings. This is talking about something being ordained. This is talking about a new major pathway. So it's something very much opening up and moving forward. That is quickly followed by the Mother, and you might know her for the traditional decks as the Empress. And what that's talking about is, look what she's doing. She's filling flowers into the water, and the water starts off in the distance and it comes forward, and she's adding more and more flowers. So this is talking about fulfillment and abundance and emotional fulfillment, as well as spiritual and physical fulfillment. So it's talking about great deals coming together. So this is that the cards reading so well together, and it finishes up with the Magician, which is the card of hope and inspiration. Again, we've got the flowers down in the background. We've got being highlighted. So this is actually saying you've got everything you need to take this new path that's being created for you. So this was the ending. How fantastic. And don't forget to put up. Yeah. So we've got all the skills we need to take it forward, and that's something really, really special. So it's so lovely to see. So we may be feeling that we are tired and we can't move forward. We may be feeling very much that we can't get to where we want to be. It's not you, it's just this, at the moment we've been given all these opportunities and options and information to think through, and it just takes time to make sense of that. And often when we're confused and things we want to happen aren't happening, we feel very much that we're out in the cold and that we're separated from, and we don't seem to relate to other people who seem to have it all and seem to be sitting around the fire, enjoying the warmth, whereas we're off, way in the distance, feeling isolated and bereft. We will start to get the messages and the new beginnings about where to go, and we will be given opportunities about where to take it, and that's just wonderful. And when these opportunities come, it will be a brand new beginning, it'll be a brand new path, and we'll be so invigorated. The path, if you like, is being ordained for us, but remember, free will, you can choose at any time what you want to do or where you want to go, and there's no such thing as the wrong decision. You might head down the wrong path, might turn out to be the right path. You might head down the wrong path, change your mind and come back. That's all okay. Life is never a straight line. And then the other aspect of it is just telling you you've got what it takes. The Magician. You have everything and more to get where you want to be. So that's the cards. Don't you just love it? I got out some clarifying cards, but which is the Gaia deck, but I don't need to use it because we've got everything we need to know. So we don't do that. You want to see the card just in case? What was that? Now see, look at that. So the card that came out, Desire. And now with Venus moving into Aries, now is the time for us to go after what we desire. If you need a little bit more clarification and push forward, but who could want that when we've got all these other beautiful cards? All right. Bye, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for joining in. You want to have a reading with me, just get in contact with me below. I haven't forgotten about the manifestation videos, but we've just had, in where I'm living in Laos, Pimai, which has been an extraordinary period of celebration and parties. So I had to get up really early this morning to find some quiet time to do this. If it stays like this, nice and quiet throughout the day, I'll get some more done. If not, I'm sure I will next week. Okay, bye and see you soon.